everyone, welcome back. Okay, today we're going to have a little go on the Indian because I've had another box of stuff from Hitchcock's. Sorry about the little bit of background noise, but it's 16 degrees F outside and I've been in the workshop for a little while, so I've got to have the heater on. So let's see what we've got from our... Oh, before I go into that, a couple of things of interest. First of all, you remember the nasty sprocket and that it's 6-line and blah blah that we went on before. Well, thanks to Andreas in Germany, here's the sprocket he sent me, all nicely done. And the 6 lines in the centre, he sent me a little bit of video of him with the brooch that he made to do all 6 lines at once. So I'm going to put that bit of video in now.
Hi Michael, this is Andreas from Germany. And as you were documenting all your builds so well, I thought I'd contribute a little and show you how your sprocket, this is the sprocket, is broached. This is a broaching tool, and you can see I already turned out the inner diameter to fit the tool. And the broaching is done on this hydraulic press, and well, let's see how it's done. So, this is the basic setup, and first we have to apply some oil, or a lot of oil, because this will take a lot of force to push through, and of course we want to keep friction as little as possible. So let's start. Just checking if the alignment is right. Oily hands. Well, you can see we made quite a bit here, and because the travel of the hydraulic cylinder is limited, I have to put a little spacer in here. So go on a little, and I'll have to cut you out for some time because my space on the SD card is limited too, as well as the travel, and you might call that bad preparation. But all that happens between steps is pretty much the same, just pressing the tool, the broaching tool, through the sprocket. It's taking some force, as said before. It works. So now we're getting pretty close to the end. Just some centimeters left. And then we can take a look at the finished sprocket. done. You can see all the chips. So let's press this reaming tool out completely and take a look at how the sprocket works out. The making of the sprocket. Let's take a look. Nice. There's a little deburring to be done, but all in all, turned out nice. So what's left to do is final turning and of course the heat treatment to get it hardened to protect it from wearing out too early. Hope you liked it, and see you soon.
Okay, you enjoy that? Right, next thing was, there's three things altogether. I don't know about you, but I sometimes get into a bit of a mindset when something happens, and then I don't sort of think outside the box, if you like. So you may remember that when I got my ignition switch, it didn't match up with the wiring harness because we're mixing and matching. So when I saw all these pins, I thought, oh damn, I'm going to have to make a plug to go on the back, and I actually got the materials and everything. Well, one of our viewers, who as usual his name escapes me because as you know I can't remember names, pointed out that you can actually buy the plugs. I just assumed, you see, as I say, oh damn, I thought, I just assumed that the wiring harness would have the plug as part of it. But no, look at this. You can actually buy the plugs. He told me to go on eBay, which I did, and they had plugs like this, completely bare one, with the little connectors that go inside, so I can put them on the wires and then push them in and we're all set. They also did them with the wires already in, with bullet connectors on the end. So that was good, thank you very much. Finally, you remember I had to make those little pieces up for mounting the alternator, because the later alternator was smaller than the early one. Well, when I was on Hitchcock's website, on the parts page for the chain case, getting the little alloy piece where the wires come out and the clutch cable, I noticed a round thing, because they're only small diagrams so you can't really see them. So I moused over the number for the round thing, and there it is, alternator mounting ring. So for those of you who said they remembered rings, they do actually make a ring to go on there, to go from the big stator to the smaller one. And it got me thinking and pushing my memory right back to when I was about 20, so we're going back 46 years. I had a Constellation, which was the the distributor model, and now I think about it, yeah, that had this sort of step ring that bolted on, and then the stator went onto that. So anyway, there's those three things. So let's see what we've got. We have got air filter. See, that goes in and pokes out through the holes there. Air filter. We have got this plate, which you'll see is toolbox shaped. The air filter goes in, and then that plate goes in. There's a hole in the middle for it. So there's that. It's all good. So we can put our air filter in on this side. This is the mounting bracket. I don't know if you can see now, but that's the one that goes, saddle goes onto that, and then that goes onto the mud guard. Good, got that. Here's the expensive bit. Brand spanking new centre stand. Now one nice thing about the centre stand is that all the bits for it come in a kit. So there's its spindle, the return spring, the mountings, everything comes together. There's our little alloy thing that goes on the chain case with the 2 holes in, and there's a little grommet in there. There's a spring for the chain tensioner, the primary chain tensioner. Now that and this are the head steady. That bolts onto the head. Boom, 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 boom. That bolts down onto the head like that. There are 2 studs in the by the inlet valve covers. That goes on like that. Then this thing here goes in there, and that goes onto the frame. So that's good. And what's that? Oh, I know what that is. Oh, I get weak in my old age. That is a nice new neutral finder lever, and this is a nice new, let's take it out. Now that is a gear change lever, isn't it? So that's the nice new gear change lever. And as you know, I got a new kickstart lever. So that should be everything. I can't make up my mind whether to get one of those alternator rings or to just go with, because they're not cheap, whether to go with the pieces I made. But I'm going to leave that decision right till the end, because it's the last sort of thing I'm going to put on. And you know, if I order it now, you can bet your life I'll find something that I've missed and I'll have to put another order in. So when we're all finished, I'll make my mind up about that. So okay, that's what's come. Let's put a few bits on. Right, first thing we'll try is Andreas's sprocket. Whoa, well done, Andreas. Very nice. I also forgot to mention that when the sprocket came, he also sent me a template for the that little cowl piece that bends like that. That little cowl piece for the rear light. Thank you again, Andreas. Okay, so let's do the centre stand. Here's all the bits that came with it. So first thing I'm going to do is put on the spring mounting. Put a lock washer under that. Okay, so then we have the bushing. So that's going to go in there like that. So we'll get, and then we have the centerpiece that goes in there. So in goes the bushing. That. And any amount of grease on there. We could top it up with grease. It's got a grease nipple in the end of it, but we'll put this on. Let me just check which end the grease nipple goes. I don't think it really makes much difference. Still here, don't worry. Okay, parts book looks as if it shows the grease nipple on that side. That goes up in there. Come on now. Let me get a little bumper. Going to go on the other end. Let's go out to the side. Hold it. And go. Lock washer on each side. One. Okay, that looks good. Now then, where's the spring go? Now there's the thing. Where does the spring go? Okay, let me tighten this up and have a look in the book, see if I can find where the spring went. Because of course the bike didn't have a centre stand when it came, so it's got to be up there somewhere. Alright, so as I say, I'll tighten these up and then we'll come back in a minute. Thought we'd start off putting this bracket on the bottom of the seat. And sure enough, when I looked underneath the upholstery, there I've put the bolts in so you can see, there are two little collars that are threaded. So we will bolt this on and then we can put the mudguard back on there. And that should be that all complete. So we'll get a couple of and they're 1/4" BSF, and I haven't had an order in for a while. There's rummage around everywhere to find myself 2 1/4" BSF bolts. And they're really tight in up against the edge of the seat, so where the upholstery is. God. Okay, that's got one in. Of course, it doesn't look as if the holes are exactly lined up. Are we surprised at that? Let me turn this on its back, see if you can still see. Yeah. Why is it nothing ever fits? Right, let's see if we can pull these down. The best thing for this is going to be a socket, isn't it? Okay, that's that. Now, of course, I don't know what I'll do with the we'll use this one, which I don't particularly like, but okay. I have also been onto Hitchcock's about that centre stand spring, and apparently there is a bracket that bolts on the back of the gearbox. Doesn't show on the parts book. That's one nice thing about Hitchcock's. They're no Royal Enfields. Phoned up, talked to the fella. Okay, said let me ask Wayne, and he said, oh yep, there's a bracket goes on, and he even knew the part number. So there's that. So let me zoom you out and we'll put the mudguard on. Now then, that is going to go on there like thus. So we need whoa, fingers and thumbs this morning. I won't do that tightly because we've got to put this one on there. I think by the looks of it, is going to go on the inside. Do do do. Yep. bad, just a little, a very minor. Which way are they going? That way up. Like that. Yep, I think they go on the outside by the looks of it. Should have an apprentice, shouldn't I? You know, I can't understand how gullible people are, the way that companies have somehow managed to convince people that they should pay for their apprenticeships. You know, oh, we don't do apprenticeships, you've got to go and get some weirdo degree that you've got to pay for. Or I think in the UK now, doesn't the government have grants or something for apprenticeships? And after all, it's the companies that get the benefit of the trained people. Alright, I'm not going to put the other one on yet until it's on the bike, because we've got those two little bracket things, you remember, for the wires to go through. So let me move this over there, put it on, and then we'll come back and bolt it up. Got this set on here, so as I say, I've got to put the two little clips on. So that one goes there with that. Let me get that in. I definitely need an apprentice. There we go. That goes on. There, like that. And I've walked off with the bloody doodad, doodad, doodad. There it is. I had my friend from Canada down who I built the Triumph, the X-Comforts, Triumph 3TA engine, 350 into one of my Trials frames. He was having problems with it and it had a very old Boyer Branston system on, so we bought a new one from Electrics World. Got it all fitted. My God, it ran worse than it did with the other one on. It was only running on one cylinder, and that I really couldn't understand, because it uses a 2-output coil and works on the lost spark principle. So that was very odd. So we played around with that for a while. Still didn't get it going, so he took it back up to, we got it all installed, so he took it back up to Canada, and he's going to have to play around with it. Right, there we go, that's that one on. So now we can sit this up here. Let's flip the bracket. Oh, come on. There we go. Get that there on those. Goes on there. Now then this is going to go on there. You're going to stay there. I'll use a little bit of brute force there to get that lined up. It's going to go in there like that. I'll put that on the wrong way around. That should go on like that. Oh. That's going to go on. That. Actually, I have to use a slightly longer bolt now because I've got the thickness of the thing. So, what have we got? That's that. That's shorter. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Goes on there. There's the nut. What happened to the washer I just got out for it? Who knows? Thought I'd still put it on the wrong way around then. Come on now, be a good boy. I did have that on the right way around. What am I doing here? Hey. Yeah, I want that to be up. That wants to be that way. That's better. Right, so that's going to go in there. And then we've got one nut. And that's going to go on there. that. Tighten that. That one we did, and this one, and that is now a lot sturdier than it was. Okay, let's do something else. Right, we're going to call that it for this video for two reasons. One, we're up to 30 odd minutes. And secondly, because I've done it again. When I was on the Hitchcock site, I forgot to go from the 1960 parts book, which I use for the engine parts, to the 1956 parts book for all the cycle parts. So consequently, I ordered the wrong air filter. Look. When I looked in the book at lunchtime, sure enough, of course it's a lot more parts and therefore more expensive, but I can't put the air filter on, which is what I was going to do next. So that's it for now. I'll be away next week, so you know, winter time's a bit hit and miss with the videos anyway. But hope you enjoyed this one. Again, thanks to everybody that's subscribed. We're up to like 1,030 something now, so thank you very much for that, and for all the comments and the kind words and so on. So until I see you next time, enjoy yourselves.